Welcome back to the Nancy Campbell Academy podcast. I'm Gordon Naylor, and I'm here with Terell Soderstrom. And today we're going to talk about the Grenada Project, which is a project that Nancy Campbell Academy has been involved in for a couple of years now, about a year and a half, I guess. And you were one of the first youth to go on that project.
That's right.
And I don't think you actually expected to go. No. In other words, it happened pretty late. But the truth is that project came about rather suddenly. It was the first time that we decided we were going to do a project that would last so long, which would be 3 months. Normally, grade 11s go for a 10-day, 2-week service trip where they do performances. Mm-hmm. But this time, after that, there was a 3-month period of community building. So, Terell, maybe I was thinking you could talk a little bit about how you got involved in that and why you decided to go and what, tell us about that.
Okay. So this SOAR project, Grenada Project that you were planning, I'd known in the summer of 2023 because you were talking to me about it. And then I remember back then, because I was 17 at the time, I was like, no, I'm not going to go to 3 months to some random Caribbean island I don't know.
So that was your actual thought?
My original thought.
But you weren't telling me that.
I was interested at the same time, but I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think you were in.
I was thinking about it at the same time, but I said to myself, it was like 6 months before we went, because we went in February. I was like, I'll go if my brother goes. That's what I said.
Is that right?
That's what I said. In my head, I was like, I remember telling somebody, but I was like, I'll go if my brother goes. And then coming all the way to February, we're getting ready for this Grenada service trip, which is 2 weeks. So you had the choice to go to on this service trip and then come back after that 2 weeks. Or you can choose to be one of the people that stayed for 3 months.
Right.
And I was going back and forth. Do I go or do I not go? This will be a great service, but I don't know. I don't know. And then I was like, my friend Jose, my very close friend, I was like, I'll go if he goes. But he couldn't make it because of his visa issues. And then it was literally 5 days before the trip, 5 days before, my brother got fired from his job.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember
he got fired from his job. He didn't do anything wrong, but and then he was in the position, he was like, I'm going to go on this trip. And then I was like, wait, 6 months ago, I said, if he goes on this trip, I'll go on this trip. And at that point, I was praying a lot and I was going back and forth. And I was like, this is a sign that I should go. Oh. And then I went on the 3-month SOAR project.
And as you might imagine, because it was our first project, we had 6 youth that were going to go. But actually we had 4 because you hadn't committed and your brother hadn't either because of his job.
Yeah.
So it was, for me, it was trying to get the project off the ground. And, it wasn't that I had overpromised. Sela, who has done a lot of our service projects, but the 10-day ones, never a long one. And at the time, what made it possible was one of the local people had offered a place where our team could stay for the 3 months, which later on, due to a number of factors, they were unable to do that. So we ended up then having to create our own space.
Exactly.
Which was at the Baha'i Center there, because it was a space that was empty, but it was in, shall we say, not in the best of states.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was really bad.
Yeah. So we had to just to kind of get in there to get it, because it really hadn't been operational, at least not in most of it.
For 30 years or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was not a lot of activities happening right there. But so that was part of, so there were logistical things. But the biggest thing for me was we were going to Grenada and we were going to go to all the schools. And then we were going to tell them that 6 of the 12 people that you're seeing here performing are going to stay back and work in this neighborhood. So do you recall why we picked that neighborhood?
I remember because there was one local as well that was inside that neighborhood that actually 5 years prior, we had been in Grenada doing a service trip for like 10 days.
Oh, yeah.
And she was extremely moved. And so we already had like a connection in that neighborhood. And like, as well as like that neighborhood was like one of like the worst looked at from like the outside.
Yeah,
like, well.
that people saw it as a neighborhood that had a lot of social issues. And I know that, I remember she had come, I remember the performance she came to. We actually didn't have any lights or any electricity at the school. So we had to perform in this parking lot. And the only way we could have lights was to put the cars facing with the headlights on the dancers and connect the music to the car. But so despite and a good crowd showed up and they were dancing on concrete, so on these social issues, but it wasn't easy to perform. And I remember she said that what was impressive to her is that youth had come from all over and all over the world, and that showed her a kind of sense of unity. So she was very moved and had kept talking about that in the neighborhood. So the community building that we were talking about is we had gone to do these performances on social issues many times, but we never really had enough time to kind of follow up in the communities and to work on this community building process that was really designed to empower junior youth and youth to start making a difference in their own community. And, I have to say when that started, first of all, it was on gigantic hills that to walk up and down was in the heat.
Oh my God.
Was not easy. And I was thinking, okay, these are 6 youth largely from North America. And I remember thinking that some of them were quite panicky about, whether they would be able to really relate to what's going on in the village. And I felt the same thing from the local people as we had conversations. So maybe you could talk a little bit about what that was like, because you guys were kind of building relationships from scratch, going up and down kind of hills, meeting people. And
one thing, the language with their accent. I mean, they speak English, but it was a little bit difficult in the beginning to like really get the accent, because the accent is like a really thick accent.
Yeah, very
like
difficult.
after a while, we started to understand it. It was good, but.
So then you're having conversations, but you're not understanding.
Yeah. No, the worst thing is like when we'd have conversations and you wouldn't understand, you'd be like, sorry, could you repeat that? And then they would say the same thing. And then I would not understand.
Still.
Like, sorry, could you repeat that? And then by the third time, I was like, I would just smile and nod.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one experience I had where it went through the same thing. And then after the third request, they said, don't you speak English? And that I understood. But I couldn't say, well, I don't understand the accent. So I think you're probably smart just to smile.
Yeah.
And hope that eventually you do. But eventually it went from that to something much, like what were you trying to do at first?
Okay. So at first, our like first goal was to just create meaningful friendships and just connections within the like community. So we would just go outreaching and knock on people's doors, or like out there, we would just say, like shout from outside and be like, good afternoon. And then someone would come out and then
there's no windows and a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And
open.
Like from the service, like trip, the dances that we performed in schools, we had already like had like a reputation within like a lot of different places. So a lot of people would recognize us. Yeah. Which did help with starting conversations, because like the service trip purpose was very meaningful. And like it had the dances that involved like the equality between men and women, or like different things like that. Right. So we could just build off that like meaningful likeness.
Yeah. And there were a few youth that actually, because every time we performed in the schools, we would say that this group is staying, and would other youth. And there were about 3 youth that were, I think, in the college that remained kind of connected off and on with the team, right? That had come from the college.
Oh yes, those college people.
at the very beginning.
Yeah, I'm pretty like. Yeah, they we got connection from them from one of our dances. I'm pretty sure because we had like the sign up if anybody would like to help serve the community,
Right,
and like write your
right.
names, and they were some of the few that we called up.
Yeah. And they weren't from that community, but they were willing to come, and they came to have some sessions. But, you know, I think if I recall, they had some service that they were service requirement they were trying to meet for the college as well. And so that was there. But, you know, I noticed that, like, I left not too long after you guys started, and Sela was there. But I also noticed that there was like a lot of breakthroughs in relationships in the communities when I came back. Because I have to say, at first when we were going place to place, I could feel that some people were looking at me like, you know, what are these guys doing here? And like, why?
It makes sense.
Why
you know?
us? You know, like, and I was thinking, okay, I know Caribbean people are very welcoming, and you know, they're always happy to receive you and chat with you. But you know, you guys were going to be hanging around the neighborhood, like making connections every day. So it's not like they don't start to wonder. So what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes sense. Like, if we're just complete strangers and we're just talking about meaningful relationships and like trying to make a change in the community. So at first they were just like really, like they thought there was something else going on, or they thought like that it wasn't the pure intentions that we did have.
Right.
But then after, it's like when we actually showed consistency and progress with like that we're actually just genuine, like we just want to make genuine friendships, and we just want to get to know you. And like we started up a children's class, and we did different things for children and the junior youth within the community. And then the locals started to turn around and they're like, oh wait, these guys are actually really friendly. They're really really nice people.
Yeah, they started to realize you were serious.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, did they start talking about some of the issues that the community was facing?
Yeah.
Or that they were facing personally?
Yeah. A lot of them opened up on a really deep level about like the different issues, like drugs or abuse or just different things like that. And a big issue was also the youth within the community were just up to no good. I remember this one youth that had like a really bad reputation, and like anybody, like when they would approach him, they would just and I would talk to them about him, and they would just say bad things. And I was like, but then after a while, when we got to know him, I really got to know his like the deeper side behind him, and he wanted to actually make a change and do things. And
but he was kind of stuck in the image.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if you tell somebody that they're this so many times, they're gonna become that.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of situations of that. Like people just label things on kids, on youth, on like different things. They're gonna become that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like a prophecy.
Exactly. But if you like really see the potential within them, they're gonna show that potential.
Yeah. Yeah. So you saw some instances where the people changed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like some of these youth?
Yeah, exactly.
And what do you think was involved in them making that change?
I think we gave them opportunity to like step up as well. And also we saw the potential within them. We weren't just setting them up for failure. Like we allowed them to, we had some junior youth groups, and also we allowed them to teach children's class and help with us, or like serve the community. Like we created, one problem was the garbage within the community. And we created these no dumping signs, because like there was a lot of dumping like down this one hill, and it was really disgusting. You could smell it from far away.
And
then
heat.
When we set them up, those same youth that are the troublemakers, they were protecting these signs from like people who try to knock them down, and like holding up that no dumping.
So they got behind some of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're probably good protectors. Since they were probably protecting themselves too.
Yeah.
I know that there were amongst the adults, well, I also saw when I came back, and I came back probably about 2.5 months later, I saw that there was, I think there was a sports day where all the youth had come out, and you could tell that they were so happy to do that. So did you do a lot of those kind of activities with the youth and children, or was there mostly?
Yeah, every now and then we would do like a big event with everybody, whether it would be inviting them to the Baha'i Center or like doing a sports day on the field. And what was really nice as well is that like some of the local mothers would help. They brought snacks, they brought drinks, they brought all these different things to help us as well. So it was like the people within their own community are becoming protagonists of trying to make a better difference.
So they're
all chipping in their own ways. And it was really like, it really meant a lot.
Yeah. I think one of the things, because you ended up being based in the Baha'i Center, one of the things that there was some suspicion about was that you were there to convert everybody to be Baha'is.
Yeah.
And so like maybe you could talk a little bit about what these projects, is that a goal of the projects?
No, we're not here to convert you to be a Baha'i. Although we study a lot of material from the Baha'i writings and give guidance from, like we get guidance from there. It's not our objective to convert you, but like within the community, it doesn't matter. Like my best friend is Christian, and within our own community here, we would teach children's class, teach junior youth together. Like it didn't matter of what religion. It's just, we're just helping educate others.
Yeah. So the junior youth group is for people of all different religious backgrounds or of no religion.
Exactly, yeah.
And the goals are really to help junior youth learn to make a difference.
Like the concepts of like kindness, love, like respect, forgiveness, all these concepts can relate with every religion and with any person on the earth. So it doesn't really matter. Right. It belongs to everybody.
So I think that was part of what I saw was kind of the test was, okay, what are these people after? Yeah. And of course we came as Nancy Campbell Academy, and at the school we have people from all different backgrounds, from faith and not faith. And so when we have like a devotional, we have a morning assembly and there's devotions, inspiration, and we call it that because for people that are religious, devotions are fine. Exactly. For people that are not, then inspiration. So people could read poetry or they could read writings or whatever.
It's really nice.
So you guys also, from what I understand, tried to have devotionals
we did.
With families or in smaller groups.
Yeah, and it was successful. It was really nice. Like we went to some houses that we'd created a good friendship with, and we said prayers at their house, and they said prayers themselves as well. We also invited people to the Baha'i Center and had different activities, and it always start with prayers all together, and anybody could share. Sometimes we would create we would give some prayers to say, but then after that you can say whatever you want as well.
Yeah, so people, if it's an organized program, then you follow that.
Exactly.
But people could use any of their own prayers or readings because it is community building. And that means, again, people should feel comfortable. Well, as a Baha'i, it's really against our religion to, have the idea that we would convert somebody. It's actually that it's a strong principle that we must independently investigate truth for ourselves. So we can share thoughts and ideas, but individuals must be respected. And I think I always like this quote that I often use, with due regard for the rights of others, which is their right to choose. But at the same time, we're all in communities where we have to build a community no matter what background we are and how to come together. And I understood that there were lots of times when you're in devotionals or meeting people, and there was a lot of, having lived in Guyana for 6 years myself at one point, there's a lot of stories between neighbors that were going on and disconnections, and, people had stopped talking to each other for different reasons. And understood that was something that would come up sometimes, and then you guys would help out with that. So what would you do?
Well, first of all, there were like a lot of situations between youth or between even just parents that there was they would just talk bad about each other behind each other's backs. And some of the things might be true or they wouldn't even be true.
What happens here.
Yeah. I think what helps is with that situation is that either their kids or they would be involved in something together, like a unified action. So one of which would be the junior youth program, and they'd be studying together. And so it kind of forces them in a situation where they have to either sort it out or, well, they have to sort it out if they want the unity of their group. And it helped with the parents as well, because there would be situations when we'd be together, and it helps them talk and actually realize that these things don't matter.
Yeah.
These aren't important. But what's important is that we all work together.
Yeah. To kind of get past them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing I was thinking about is you probably had some circumstances where you found interactions deeper or more meaningful. If you were thinking about, does any of those come to mind?
Yeah, there's a couple. So our original objective as well is to have youth within their own community take the charge. Because after we don't want to just be running things and then we leave and then there's nothing. Yeah. Right. So part of that,
how to sustain it.
Yeah, exactly. So we met a couple of youth. Two come to mind right now is Ithana and Carrie, and they were amazing. They were really inspired with what we were doing, and they really took charge. And it was both of them that started running the junior youth group together. And so they would come together to study the material, and they would meet with their group and then teach to the group.
Yeah,
which was really nice.
So what do you think moved them?
I think seeing other youth serve their own community for a selfless reason, selflessly, with no reason, just to serve. And so I think that really inspired them. It's why are these guys doing this? What motivates them? And then I realized it's just the happiness of others and just the betterment of the world.
Yeah. So they kind of caught that spirit of doing it.
And it's not as easy for everybody to be inspired that way.
No, because it's still hard work.
Yeah, it was hard work. Yeah.
Maybe that's agreeing to go and live with 6 people in kind of intense, sometimes hot environments. Where you have a very rigorous schedule every day. Can create a lot of stress and difficulties. So how did you get through that? Because obviously if other youth are doing it, that would be a big challenge, which is the challenge that was kind of keeping you away from saying yes. You said, okay, I'll do it with my brother or my friend, which is not unusual, but how did you cope?
So our team was me and my brother and Zach, who is an older brother of an alumni here at the school. And then it was Sophia, Miriam, and Ivy.
Right.
And so two of these people are in my class, and one of them is my brother, and then one of them is an underclassman. And I didn't have the best connection with the girls. To be honest, it was more negative than positive beforehand. So I was and then I just know just being in a place for 3 months with my brother, we're going to drive each other crazy. And we did.
Yeah.
Those are some of the issues. Me and my brother would fight and we would argue about things. And I think in the long run, and I'd argue with everybody. We'd all argue at some point. But I think we all realized towards the end, it's we just have to push all ego aside, just push everything aside, and we just have to serve. We have to come and unite together to serve. And then through that, it really deepened our friendship with each other. I remember a story with my brother. There was a lot of different situations where I had to step up to be the bigger person, and he did as well, because I'm not perfect either.
Yeah.
I think towards the end, he was annoying me so bad, and I just wanted to shout at him. I was this isn't going to help our goal. I think the better thing to do is just step away and just let's both cool down and then come back to talk about it after.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably the often the best strategy is to stop and walk away.
And it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah, that's always, because usually you feel like, well, if I just say this one thing, it's going to straighten it all out.
Yeah. Also, like, just empathize with the other people, because we're all like going through a lot of pressure there. It's hot. We're waking up super early because we were painting the house and like rebuilding the whole house at the same time as serving in the community. We'd be studying school. So it's just like empathize with the others. Like, these guys are probably just as tired as me. They're working just as hard or not harder than me. So it's like, if you really empathize and put yourself in other people's shoes, like, you really can't get mad at people.
Yeah. And I think Sela, as a person that was running the project, herself is kind of a powerhouse example of constant.
She's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard when, like, it wasn't like she was asking you to do things she wasn't doing.
Yeah.
But you guys did a tremendous amount, like, to get that whole center in shape, paint the whole thing in really beautiful, wild, attractive murals all over the side of it, and people were stopping and enjoying it. So it wasn't just a minor thing. In fact, I thought when I saw what was done there, I thought, okay, this would have been enough if this was all that was done. But then that was just on the side as extra.
Had to do grade 11 as well.
Oh, not to mention that you had to learn how to wash your own clothes without
no washing machines.
Hang them out, make sure you had everything ready, and helping out with food. So there was a lot of demands. And what advice would you give to someone else that was going to go about how to cope with all these demands and still be successful?
I think, like, I recommend, like, anybody who has the opportunity to do something like this, just do it. Put aside, like, all, like, difficulties, and just really, like, at the end of the day, like, at the end of every day, even though it'd be so difficult, you'd be so happy. You'd be so happy because you served others and you made other people happy. And you also did it with a bunch of youth your age, and it's just the most fun. Yeah.
So you felt a real sense of accomplishment. And it was worth it, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah. You grow so much as a person.
So I know another youth had said to me that he saw a difference in you when you came back, and he wanted to go because of that. And it was kind of because of some things you said to him that it did for you or to you, and maybe, like, what was it you told him?
It wasn't as much as, like, what I said to him, but it's what he saw and what I was, like, how I was behaving myself as a person. Like, we were in a situation with, like, just a group of guys, like, us friends, just walking, and then, like, some topic of, like, different gossip or, like, just negative things to talk about came up, and people were just talking just for the sake of talking, and I essentially just kind of, like, shut down the conversation, just kind of diverted it somewhere else.
And he noticed.
He noticed. I didn't think anybody would notice, because what I've learned as well is, like, if, like, we're backbiting about somebody, we're just talking negative, it doesn't help any situation. It doesn't help yourself. It's more negative on yourself than anything. And so I just learned to kind of, like, distract the conversation and go a different routes.
Yeah,
and at the same time, I don't want to
feel bad.
I don't want to make them feel bad as well. Like, don't talk about that, like, right? And I didn't think he noticed that. And so that was the situation where he was like, "Whoa, he's doesn't, like, he's not indulging in this, like, in this anymore." Or he's like, he's different.
So you would say that you had it seems like you had a greater commitment to trying to have a unity with people than to identify their shortcomings or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is probably what is at the root of community building, because we're experts in finding other people's faults, but they're kind of like headlights. You can see the other guys, but not your own.
Yeah. If I know that I have many flaws myself, like, why am I going to point out flaws in others? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And especially when you're trying to accomplish something. Like, if you have nothing to do and you just want to, indulge in whatever suits your fancy. But when you're trying to accomplish something, to be encouraged. I know we had a podcast with Kareem, and he said we clap for courage. So it's kind of like the same kind of thinking, like we can always find each other's shortcomings, but to have the courage to try to make a difference and fight through it. I have to say, when I left the group in Grenada, I was pretty certain that at least 2 or 3 of them would be coming home in less than a month. Like, I honestly didn't know that it would happen. But actually, it seemed like everybody got more intensely committed over time. And so how did that happen? Because you were even saying you weren't particularly necessarily close to everybody, but when everybody was coming back, and I would say because we had pretty diverse people there that had really diverse ways of interacting, so that the chances of that team solidifying into
it's because we found our sense of purpose altogether. Like in the beginning, like we didn't fully understand the purpose of which like we came there to do. Like it was just like we would be doing service, but at the same time, it's like, why am I really doing this? Like, why am I talking with this person, trying to create a genuine friendship with them? Like, what's the big goal of this? Like, am I just gonna leave and nothing's gonna happen? But I think we like really understand together that this is for the betterment of the world. Like, this is for the betterment of this community itself.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that it actually was?
It was
for the
yes.
It did benefit the community.
It did.
Would they say
they're still going on right now? They're doing different activities, and it's much better. And it's not like it's due to the people themselves. They're being protagonists within their own community. They're taking initiatives. They're doing things.
Yeah, and I think what we wanted to help. So. It became clear after the 3 months. First of all, it was very clear to me that the community loved all you guys and really felt the connection.
Yeah, it was sad to leave. It was sad.
It was like so strong compared to like the beginning where, because I got the 2 sort of snapshots of a week and a week. So it was like you could really, really see the intensity of the high regard for what people had done for no reason. Like, I think that was part of it. They actually had come to the conclusion that you had been well tested and they knew that you were just sincere about your purpose that you originally said. So there was no kind of intrigue about that.
Yeah. I think like they all assumed as well, but when we first came, it's like, like this is all paid for. Like you guys are just like rich kids that like everything is just given to you. But no, I had to, like me and my brother, we had to work for our ticket to come there and to serve. And so like, it just didn't make sense to them in their mind.
Yeah, that you'd go and want to do hard work.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's one thing about the service projects all the time is that the students pay for them. Sometimes their parents can help them, but a lot of cases, not the case.
Yeah.
So people... Even that kind of demonstrates a different level of commitment. But since that time, we've had another group go, and we've had a broader success in a few more neighborhoods. And
we had a month in the summer as well.
Yeah, a month in the summer that families went, like your family, and my daughters and other people went because some of the moms wanted to talk about children's education. I think there was kind of an overall feeling of upliftment on the part of the families, like, just seeing somebody else, other people cared about what was happening there. They just started feeling like they wanted to take on some of their own challenges.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they had goals, very clear goals that they were developing that were about how the community would be. I know one person was saying they wanted more lights in the neighborhood, and a lot of really, really positive changes. Yeah. So the future of this project, and we talked about it, we had named it a SOAR project because there was a message that came out about all must surge, but the youth must soar. And so we took the word SOAR and made it into an acronym of Service Opportunities Activating Resources, which gives the idea that it's not outside people, but, service opportunities for people activates resources in the community.
Yeah, the resources are the people.
Yeah, are the people. And so communities have, and I know in our WCC class, there's a community asset assessment process where you look at what are the assets in the community that can happen. So it's not people doing things to people, but people uniting to do things together. And I think that's there. So you're still involved in the SOAR projects and helping to recruit and follow. And we've had some more youth go down, and we'll be probably launching another wave of this in February.
Yep.
But another interesting thing is it's resulted in, as you know, some of the youth that got really connected wanted to finish their high school. So now we're doing like online courses for them to be studying while they're, in fact, the team over the last 4 or 5 months that are really working full time are all local.
All Grenadians, yeah.
All from there, which is huge. And some of our youth have gone down to assist, but now it's more like, we may be. Who do you think benefits more, the people that go or the people that are there?
The people that are there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, both. Yeah.
So
you learn a lot from being there, but like it benefits their community.
So has it affected your work back here in Stratford?
Yeah, it has. It's taught me a lot, especially because within our own community, I serve by teaching children's classes and junior youth, and also just outreaching in the community. And it's definitely taught me a lot within all 3 of those skills.
Do you find that it affected, because one of the issues now with so much social media, et cetera, is people worry about youth's capacity to relate to others and to each other, and not only youth, but even amongst adults, this kind of isolation. And, with too much isolation comes other problems. Do you find that it has encouraged you to be, more outgoing or? Yeah,
no, it definitely has, like, just even like as simple as like coming across somebody on the street. Like in Grenada, when you see somebody on the street, like it's customary to just be like, good afternoon. And like really, like here in Canada, it's like you just walk past someone. Like there's not so much greeting. But now, like ever since I came back, even just something as small as that, I try to just be like, hello, good afternoon, good evening. Like,
and what's the reaction?
It's like, oh, hi. Like it's like kind of as a shock, but they like it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I've never had like a negative response to that. So I'm glad. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I think somehow it feels like a warm thing to do, and it's easy to do. And
it's easy. It doesn't take anything from me.
It's pretty easy. In fact, it actually feels good when the other person responds and does stuff. Yeah, so that's interesting. So, we're just about to change, kind of do some alternative shows. So
that's right.
Your role is you're going to be launching a youth podcast once a month.
That's right.
And what's that going to be about?
Well, it's just having the youth on the podcast, and we're going to be talking about a lot of different things.
So every kind of subject.
Yeah.
So it'll be the youth that are here and the youth that are on service projects as well?
Exactly, yeah. That's right.
All right. So good. You're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been great chatting, and I'm glad to have a chance to have heard about your commitment and your struggle and the success that kind of seeded this project, which has built really close relationships between people in Grenada and people in Canada. And I think it's going to go far. And just recently, I've been contacted by some of the other Caribbean islands. Some of them want to do similar type projects. And one of them in Bahamas.
Oh, wow.
And, we'll be going to St. Lucia and Antigua. Yeah. So we're going to have opportunities to meet more people. And it looks like, actually, from what I'm seeing, that some of the Grenadans themselves, some of the youth from Grenada, actually want to go to other islands to help.
Oh, wow.
Like happen to them.
I didn't know that. Wow.
So, they're really excited about, the possibility of going to other places too.
That's so nice.
So I think it's good to see that, youth everywhere actually want to make that kind of a difference. And I think because they saw what you guys were doing and what's still happening, and themselves are experiencing really positive things as they're trying to build community too.
Yeah. Because youth are in their prime, and this time, like, this is the best time to make a change.
Yeah. And you got energy too, much
Yes.
more energy than...
So if you're a youth and you're not doing anything, do something.
That's it. Okay. So that's your final word. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to having you look forward to the new work you're going to do with the youth podcasts, and it'll be exciting to see what happens. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.